bad, Bill Belichick inserted Brian Hoyer into the game. A loss so bad, Bill Belichick only mumbled a few words in his post-game presser. Although that just means it's a day of the week. New England heads into the bye at 7-3 with some introspection from Tom Brady.
This is when, you really figure out what kind of team you are. And it hasn't been all good. It hasn't been all bad. There's a lot of good things to take. There's, some bad things to take from the past 10 weeks. But we put ourselves in a position to finish strong. And, we've got to go out and take advantage of that. And it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication by everybody to get it done. And, that'll define what happens with our season.
All right, Bart, so break it down. Through 10 weeks of the season, how good are the New England Patriots, really?
This isn't the best team that they've had, and they're even worse without Gronkowski because he operates so much real estate on the field that he opens everything up for everybody else. The Patriots got beat up. And, they always lose to teams like that, right? They lose to Jacksonville. They'll lose to a team like the Ravens. They won't lose they won't lose to a team like Kansas City, a team that wants to try to outscore them.
Some of those old Jets teams.
Absolutely. So somebody that can run the football. And, they struggle against mobile quarterbacks. Mariota killed them with his legs, being able to buy time because they don't have a true pass rusher. They don't have somebody that can consistently get after the passer. So if the game is close, and they got out early, 17-point lead in the first quarter, to be able to make the Patriots have to play a certain way, and they couldn't respond. Gronk is going to be huge to their success.
Gronk also missing in the running game. I tell Nick all the time, he's the best offensive lineman they have, and he's one of the best blocking tight ends, especially on the end of the line of scrimmage, you're going to have. Now, they have the designated run blocker in Dwayne Allen, but just what happened to him? He's hurt now. So now you have Dwayne Allen hurt as a bookend. Now, this is an offensive line that as a unit, they're going to be one of the better units because they work well together. But individually, they don't have a lot of just pure, raw talent. They're well coached. So now when you take Sony Michel, who's been Nick, and I expect him to be Nick the rest of the year. He came into the season with a knee injury. He has a history of having a bad or questionable knee. I believe that's why he slipped a little bit in the draft to the end of the first round. So now we don't have a dominant running game. We miss Gronk, not only as a receiver down the middle, but now he takes a little bit of that coverage off of Edelman. So now Edelman can't get his thing off the way he normally does. So now I'm depending on Josh Gordon. And I would love to see Josh be a number 1 guy. He is really talented, but to have him to be my number 1, he is not dependable as far as a route runner. You could see him questioning what his depth with Brady. He fell down on a couple routes. He dropped a couple balls. When you target someone by Tom Brady 12 times and you only come up with 4 receptions, that would be a problem. So I still think New England, they have won Super Bowls with ugly teams like this, but I just don't think with the firepower that's in the AFC and the route that they would have to go, it would make it very tough for them, Nick.
I'm going to touch the third rail on this debate, which is, let's talk about number 12 for a moment. Next Gen Stats came out with something yesterday that was shocking. Because for years and years and years, you could not blitz Tom Brady. It was a recipe for disaster. I remember Football Outsiders had a stat facing a heavy blitz from 07 to 2016. I think it was 77 touchdowns, 0 picks. Like a heavy blitz, not a regular blitz, but an extra guy. This year, the NFL's lowest rated passer against the blitz, Tom Brady. Passer rating around 56. Now that is something different. That is something we're not used to. The last 3 weeks, when Tom Brady has had 1 good quarter of football. The game against the Bills, he was not good. First 3 quarters against Green Bay, he was not good. The entire game against the Titans, not good. He's thrown 1 touchdown the last 3 games. Like, Brady has not looked the same since Gronk's been out as well.
Bart, what are they doing to Brady from a defensive standpoint? Because I know you're watching it. They're doing some different coverages and putting some extra people at the line of scrimmage.
See, what they want to, they make sure they set the edges. They know he's not going to run. And then what they're doing is they're bringing somebody up the middle. You saw a lot of times they know he's going to step up, so now they have the extra blitzer, delayed blitzing up the middle. You saw him get sacked twice in the game.
Yeah, it was like he wasn't expecting that guy to come.
Right, because usually everybody goes around, he steps up to the pocket, steps out, and then he steps up right there there, bam, right into a defender, and they're setting traps for him. And also what they're doing is they're playing two-man, because a lot of times when you blitz, it's a zone blitz. Now it's always a place in the zone that's open, soft in the zone. He's going to find it. They're man blitzing them, making sure that they have everybody accounted for, making them have to throw the ball into tight windows. We all know that if we get Brady to move his feet, he's not as accurate as an Aaron Rodgers, as a Mariota, as a Patrick Mahomes, somebody who can throw the ball on the run across their body.
And listen, and it's showing up on the stat sheet as well. In the first 7 games, Tom Brady was sacked 9 times. You'll take that, no problem. In the last 3 games, he's been sacked 7. So he went from averaging right over 1 sack a game to nearly, what's that, 3 or 2.5 sacks a game. Like, it's showing up, and that's not to mention the times he's throwing the ball away. What do you like?
You know it's bad when they pulling out all the tricks. They finally completed the Brady special. Wide open 37.
Oh man, he took that pain though on the ground. That was the bad beat.
The turf monster got him down, and then of course Mariota does the Mariota special, and he picks up the first down. He looks special.
All right, so we all agree that this isn't the best team that they've had, and maybe Tom Brady isn't playing as good a football. Is anyone concerned about their playoff chances? Is any concerned about the path? Is anyone concerned that Josh McDaniels is not going to find a way to somehow turn this around?
Well, you have to be concerned because they've only had the success, and New England's success is winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
All right. So they have even gotten there 3 times and not been successful. But success has been being in the number 1 or the number 2 seed. They make you come to Gillette. We know the type of ball they play. You get win 2 games there at home, get to Atlanta. This year, I still believe that they have a chance because they'll have to go on the road, but the lack of experience in Kansas City and are with the Chargers, and they have Pittsburgh's number.
Yeah.
So this is not the best team. This road might be more difficult because where they would have to go, to me, I would still have confidence that they could still get there.
But if they have to see Kansas City in Kansas City, I thought Kansas City probably drew a lot of confidence about how they went into Gillette and played. Even though in a loss, I felt they left encouraged.
Since they won their 3rd Super Bowl, so from the 05 season and now, they have won 1 road playoff game. Now, it's not because they've been terrible on the road. They're 1-4. That ain't great, but it's not like they're 1-9. Yeah. They haven't played many road playoff games, but they do not have a history of having to go on the road in the postseason. They have almost no history of having to play in the wild card round. That's only happened 3 times. Tom Brady's only played in 3 wild card playoff games in his entire career. That's why that game at Pittsburgh is critical, and the home game against the Vikings is critical, because the winner of the AFC West is getting a bye.
You're supposed to ask me how many wild card games they played.
How many wild card games they played in?
1.
3.
Oh.
Let's try it later in the
At least I got the second chance right. I got nervous. I was like, got to take a break. Bart, thanks so much for hanging out today.
Thank you, man.
Coming up,
see you, man.
Melo's NBA career. Is it over? That's next on First Things First.
Moment of silence for my guy, Melo.
Pour some liquor out.
And
Gatorade.
Peterman.
Bart, we got